Greetings. I want to talk a little bit about psychedelics and what they mean to me and how utilizing them have helped me personally. Now, before I started using psychedelics, um, before I started using psychedelics, let's go back a little bit. When I was growing up, I grew up in the church. My grandmother was religious, so I used to go to church sometimes with her. And yeah, they were very religious. Jamaican family, very religious. And then my mom stopped attending church and started going to Kingdom Hall for Jehovah's Witnesses. So then I started going there. And when I was younger, as a teenager, I used to go to Kingdom Hall and I used to study the Bible. And into my adulthood, like on and off, um, up into my 30s, I was actually going to Kingdom Hall studying the Bible. But I never got to the point where I went out into field service and got baptized because there was also always some questions that I asked that just I couldn't get the answer for. And I believe I spoke about this before, like what is God? Um, how did we come about? What is a purpose? Things like that I was asking, and like what happened when you die, why there is death, um, why how did Satan come about? Just these things, all these things. I used to have questions, and it, I don't know. It's just something never sit right with me. And I remember I used to do yoga and Pilates, and I was talking to the person that I was studying at one point about me going to yoga and Pilates, doing meditation, something like that. And they was like, it's that you shouldn't do meditation. um, like they don't want you to connect with the spirit, spiritism. So that's how I grew up, and I used to believe like literally everything it says in the Bible. I used to believe that all of it. I used to believe that it was a literal thing that actually took place. Okay, so that is the mindset where I am coming from. That's the belief system that was indoctrinated in me, within me. Okay, now fast forward. Apart from that, there were some other things that I experienced growing up, like what you may call traumas, childhood traumas, teenagehood traumas, young adulthood traumas. It's not just childhood traumas. Traumas is traumas. These traumas could happen at any time in your life. But I've been experiencing it since I was very young, right? Different types. I'm not going to get into it, but they were very traumatic to the point that I don't even remember half my childhood because I've blocked out most of those memories. And so a lot of things I didn't remember, like the specific experience. I knew it occurred, but I couldn't give you the details of it. But my body was still holding on to the traumas. My body was holding on to those emotions. My body was holding on to the pain that I experienced with these traumas. So all of these things were still happening, even though I was no longer in those experiences. My body still stored those memories, right? So as I'm going about my life, suppressing my feelings, suppressing my emotions, not remembering on a conscious level all the things that I experienced, but on a subconscious level, I was being triggered by certain things and didn't really know why I was being triggered. Like certain things would bother me. Like I was like super impatient, meaning like if I'm speaking to you and I'm teaching you something, I'm telling you about something, or if I ask you something or if I tell you to do something and you forget, that would make me, I used to get so upset about it. So upset, angry. And I just didn't have any patience for teaching anyone anything. Because once I'm telling you, if I tell you 3 times and you don't get it, forget it. I have no patience. What else? Yeah, totally suppressing my emotion. I didn't cry. I rarely did ever cry. I would just stuff it down, and just keep going like nothing happened. Just keep moving. I was going to school, getting my nursing degree. So it required like a lot of studying, a lot of hours. I was like going to the gym, working out. So my whole life I was just like busy, 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 busy until until all that stuff starting to come up. Like, let me go try psychedelics. So I think once I started taking psychedelic is when those buried emotions started to come up to the surface. Like, why did I get so angry? Like, why I'm very standoffish? Why I don't really when I'm gonna make friends, like I will watch people for a very long time before I even talk to you. Like, people used to think I was so stuck up, but that's just how I was. I was just very careful of people. Like, I didn't trust people. So yeah, and there's reason for those things. And what else? What else? What else? What else? I'm gonna be 100% clear. Okay, loneliness. I will become sad. Um, um, feel like there's this something was missing, like this emptiness within myself. Um, yeah, like unhealthy behaviors, like unhealthy relationships with people, especially men. Um, yeah, like feeling like searching for something outside of myself to fill myself, basically searching for happiness outside of myself, thinking that someone outside of myself to can fulfill me, things like that, those type of things. um yeah, I was like totally distant from my family. I wasn't very I'm still working on that right now. Not close to my family. I wasn't close to my family at all. It was like I was just a total loner, basically, right? And the other thing was, what else? What else? I didn't have healthy sexual relationships. I didn't really enjoy sex, and that stems from the childhood experiences. When I had sex, it used to be like super painful. My body would totally just tense up, tight up, like the body was just responding a way I didn't even know why, but that's how it was. It was like total rejection of anything that feels good, except working out. Um, I'm laughing about it now because I can, but yeah. So those are the things that I was experiencing before I started taking psychedelics. But when I started taking psychedelics, everything started coming up to the surface. All the emotions, all the sadness, depression. They just sad, the crying started coming up. Matter of fact, in the beginning when I started taking psychedelics, all I did was cry. It's like all the cries that I didn't do was coming out. I was just crying all the time. Every time I take psychedelics, I was just crying. And the psychedelics that I'm speaking about is like ayahuasca, magic mushroom, kambo, and sapo. What else have I took? Yeah, I think those are the ones I took. So all I would do is just cry or become fearful, super anxious. Fear. I was scared of the darkness, scared of myself. I was like scared of myself. So I was either crying or in fear. So those are things that I released taking psychedelics. I had to do a lot of purging, of releasing, of crying, of these deep pains. I don't even know in my body, because it's all in the physical body, right? And all of these are non-physical things. They're just emotions, energy that were trapped in my physical vessels from the experience that I experienced growing up. And I was holding on to all that energy within my body, within the mind, even though the mind is non-physical, but it's like you're holding on to a belief system. It's a belief system, right? like believing like these people hurt me and they caused me so much pain and what they did was so wicked and they should be punished. This is what I was back then when I was like, God should punish them. They should get away with this for all the things they did to me. I don't think that way anymore. Um, but this is where my level of consciousness was before, my level of awareness was before I started taking psychedelics. Like I was the victim. I was a victim and people did all these things to me and I was the victim, right? And I didn't do anything for these people to do what they did to me. And these people are wicked and they're non-caring, all these things. You make up your own enemies and whatnot. Um, okay. So as I go further taking psychedelics, the more that I release all of these trapped emotions, these emotions that I was holding on to, these energies that I was holding on to, the lighter I become, the more I'm able to perceive, the more I become aware why I even experience what I experience. And if I'm gonna talk a little bit about like psychedelics, sometimes I hear people talking about psychedelics and how they talk about how psychedelics is dangerous, and I don't have that belief. I don't have that thought thinking that psychedelics is dangerous. It depends on how you use it. Everything must be balanced, and you must use things in a balanced way. And when you take in certain psychedelics, I would think that people should take it with someone who's experienced with it and know what's occurring while you're on it. If you are not um, a long-term user of psychedelics, definitely, I think people should take ayahuasca with a shaman for sure. Magic mushrooms, depending on the doses. I think if you're microdosing, you can do that by yourself because microdosing is so small. But if you're taking in large doses, especially if you never take it before, you should definitely have a sitter, have someone um, there that could hold space, a loving space for you. Apart from that, yeah, I don't think psychedelics is dangerous. It's just how you use it. Psychedelics doesn't cause anxiety or cause um, hmm, it really doesn't cause anything based on my experience and knowing of it. What it does and how it works is if you're holding on to any delusional thoughts, any if you have any mental imbalances, if you suffer from depression, if you suffer from personality disorders, if you suffer from anxiety, what the medicine does is it brings those things to the surface for you to release it, right? So if you have those issues and if you in the mind, if you're not able to allow your body or allow the mind to release it, if you too much in the mind and think that you're going nuts or you're in danger or you're fearful, then you may have mm, a trip or an experience that may appear dangerous to you where you may end up doing something crazy, right? Because you think that you're in danger. Well, you're never in danger, but you may think that, you may feel that way, right? Your mind may make you believe that you're in danger, so you may do something dangerous. And that is why I recommend, like, for people like those, definitely have a sitter. Definitely have someone with you when you're taking the medicine, for sure. But it doesn't cause it. That's the most important thing. It does not cause it. It just make you become aware of it, that it's there already, right? And it's bringing it to the surface for you to let go and release it. So when I was taking psychedelic, so my sadness, what was called, what the origin of my sadness, the origin of feeling this emptiness, the origin of the pain, the origin of the mistrust, all those things that I experienced that resulted in those feelings was brought to the surface for me to release them, right? And taking psychedelics long term as a form of balancing myself, as a way of balancing out my mind, my body, and spirit, or connecting with spirit to balance out my mind and my body by releasing these dense emotions, right? By releasing these belief systems, by releasing these thought patterns. That's what psychedelics does. It helps you to release those, let go of belief system and thought patterns. It creates new neural pathway in the brain. That's how psychedelic works. It release trapped energies, emotional energies within your body. Um, it's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful medicine. It's Psychedelics are wonderful medicines, and the reason why I love them so much is that they're natural and they were created by the creator, right? The creator put these there because the creator knows that we're going to need them. The creator knows that we're going to be forgetful and we're going to forget who we are. The creator knows that we're going to forget why we are here. The creator knows that we're going to forget that we are the creator. The creator knows that we're going to forget and think that we are a physical body. The creator knows that we are going to think that we are victim and all these things are happening to us and we have enemies and that there's good people and then there's bad people. The creator knows that we're going to get fall deep into this these concepts or this darkness. And when I said darkness, is darkness of not knowing. So psychedelics help me to remember. I started to remember. It brought me back to my self. So I experienced different aspects of my self. That's how psychedelics work. It's nothing to be afraid of. They communicate with us. They communicated with my body. They communicated with my mind. They communicate with my spirit. We are one with these medicines. We are one with these plants. We are one with these fungi. We are not separate from it. And that's how we are able to understand, and they understand what we're experiencing. And they are pure love, right? So we are energy. This physical body is energy. All is energy. Plants are energy. Fungi are energy. All is energy. All is just vibrating at different frequencies, right? And as plant and as fungi, they carry information, they carry knowledge, they carry wisdom, healing. That is how these medicine, these plants, these fungi work. This is how they're able to assist us on our own journey, because these are conscious entities on their own journey, and they were created for a purpose. They were put here for a purpose. Just as how we're put here for a purpose, they are put here for a purpose. And our purpose is for us to utilize them in a respectful way, not to demonize them. They're dangerous. No, that's not true. You have to use everything in balance, not abuse them. They're conscious beings. They are aware. They're pure love. And they're here to assist us. There is nothing to be afraid of. These plants, these fungi, psilocybin, ayahuasca, they're nothing to be afraid of. It's your own fear. It's in your own mind. You're creating your own fear. There's nothing to fear. There's absolutely nothing to fear with these plants. They're here to assist, and they want to know that they're here to assist, and they love us. just as meditation assists, just as how ganja assists, what other herbs out there, just all the other herbs out there that you use, they're the same thing. They carry an energy and a frequency, and they're here to assist, they're here to do what they were created to do. So, yeah, psychedelics helped me a lot. And I think it did because it's part of my path of using these medicines. And now I could look back at my experience and say, I have no enemies. I am not a victim. I created all those experiences. I created them, and I created them for a purpose. I created them to teach, to learn. Why? Because I had to learn how to come back and balance out myself and release those energy. I learned forgiveness. I learned to love and to accept myself. I learned to know that I'm worthy of all things. I learned that I am the creator. Not what I remember, with the remembering. They help you to remember. Yes. It's a remembering game. It's a game of remember. It's a game of falling into the darkness of not remembering who you are to ascend back up into the light of remembering who you are. This is the game. We are consciousness observing. I'm observing Ayana. I'm observing being Ayana through sensations. I am experiencing sensations, but I am not the sensation. I'm just experiencing the sensations. I create those sensations too, yes. I created Ayana as well. The persona, but it's different aspects of consciousness. But me as consciousness is already aware of all things and know all things. But I want to experience the dream of not knowing. And now I'm experiencing the dream of going back into the knowing of myself. So different aspect of the self. There's an aspect of the self that knows all things. And that's the aspect that you call spirit that guides you because it's aware of all things and know all things. That is the internal intelligence. That is your internal knowing. So when I have conversation with people, they always go outside of themselves for the information. They go to a book, to the beliefs, to what hearsay, to the Bible. But really, I want them to tap into their own being, into themselves, because they already have the intelligence within. It's already within you, because you are the creator. You already know all things. So when we seek things outside of ourselves, that's not a knowing. That's a belief, because it's not coming from within you. But when it comes from within you, when that knowledge comes from within you, when you are the experiencer of it, there's no shaking you, there's no moving you, because you know within your own being that's the truth. So you are the observer observing your creation. You are consciousness observing your creation. All is consciousness experiencing. So, yes, that is where psychedelics have opened me to remembering. For you to remember, you have to let go of the beliefs. You have to let go of the emotions. You have to let go of the fear. You have to let go of the hate, of hating yourself, of fearing yourself, because all is the self. Remember, recognize that you have no enemies, that all is you. And if you have enemies, those are you. Again, I've said this before, there is no devil, there is no Satan. That's just the concept of duality, of experiencing the light and the dark, where Satan will be the dark, the lower self, experience that lower self, that hell, where you think you're a victim and everything is happening to you and you're trapped in this hell and everything is going wrong and you have all this problem. You have no money, you have nowhere to live, you're in so much pain, you're sick, you have enemies, you can't trust people. That's hell. It's an experience that's happening in the mind. Now, if you want to rise up into the vibration of love, into the heart space, where you experience heaven, bliss, where you have no enemy and everyone is you and you love yourself and you love everyone and all is perfect and everything is available in abundance, because all is energy and you're just experiencing energy, your consciousness experiencing energy, and energy never dies, so there's no death and everything is available in abundance. That's heaven. It's a state. It's a state of the mind. I think that's all I wanted to say about psychedelics and healing and coming into remembrance. Yeah. I hope this message reach whoever needs to hear it. Thank you.